Hey guys, just wanted to go ahead and give you a real quick update with regard to one of the trades I talked about last week or the week before. It's a company called Smith & Wesson. Ticker symbol is SWBI. Now what I did on Smith & Wesson, here's what attracted my attention. You hear all the things, always say keep your ear to the ground. It's one thing to do fundamentals. You take a look at your leadership and the numbers, the revenue that the company's doing, where they're headed. And that sort of thing there. And then you take a look at technical analysis. And that's really taking a look at charts, taking a look at key pivot points, looking at really what the tickers are telling you. Because those are kind of like almost like a polygraph test telling you what the stock is doing. Are bulls coming in, are buyers coming in, or are sellers, are they selling the position? And then one extra thing that I take a look at is I look at catalyst. Give me a catalyst that is going to produce and going to be favorable to drive the stock either up or down depending on how I'm trading it. So in this case, Smith & Wesson, you hear a lot of talk about defunding the police. Now, regardless of whether that happens or not, I want to be able to capitalize on taking a look at a good solid company with good earnings. If you take a look at the earnings report, Smith & Wesson did very, very well. Matter of fact, the only issue that investors had, or the questions that they had, were, are they going to be able to keep up with the ongoing demand for handguns? Because of the defunding of the police, a lot of Americans are thinking, hey, we got to protect ourselves. If the police aren't going to protect us, we have to start getting licensed to carry or have a firearm. And you see that in the permits that are being issued out. So I want to capitalize on that. And instead of buying the stock, I went ahead and I did what we call, I shorted puts, which means it obligates me. It's kind of like a stock substitution strategy. Warren Buffett does it a lot when he wants to acquire stock. Instead of going out there and buying the stock outright, where you have to have the stock go up, I went ahead and shorted puts. And I shorted puts on the 1750 puts, which expired this Friday, this coming Friday, and I took in $1.40, $1.45 credit per share. So that reduces my cost basis around the 1605, 1610 range. So if I got assigned the position, and the only way I'm going to get assigned is if the stock trades at or above 17 or at or below 1750 prior to expiration. Well, so why am I making this video? This is really to let you know. So Smith & Wesson has actually dropped below 1750, which I have no problem with, right? It's trading at 1640, 1645, maybe even 1650. It keeps fluctuating. But here's the point. If I get assigned the position, if I get assigned Smith & Wesson, I'll take ownership of that. But not at 1750. That's the assignment. That's the strike price I chose. That's the 1750 is what I'm obligated to. But keep in mind, folks, I also took in a credit of about $1.45. $1.40, between $1.40 and $1.45. So really my cost basis is $17.50 minus the credit I took in, which brings my cost basis down to $16.05 or $16.10, depending on what the actual credit I took in. So let's say I got assigned on Friday and the stock's trading at $16.50, or it makes its way back even to $17 a share, and I get assigned the trade. I get assigned the shares. Am I making money or am I losing money? I'm actually making money. Because my cost basis, it's like I acquired the stock at $17.50 minus my credit, which brings my cost basis down to $16.05, $16.10. And now, depending on where the stock is, let's say it's at $16.50 or 16 or higher, even $17 a share, I'm up on the trade. So I can turn around then. Now I take ownership of the trade. And on October 1st, they're handing out a dividend for the first time in history. They're handing out a dividend. So I'll take ownership of the trade. I'll take the dividend, and I'll turn around and I'll sell the October calls against it. I'll perhaps sell the October 1750 calls against it, giving somebody else the right to take ownership of my trade at 1750. But at the same time, the credit I'll take in is about $1.35 to $1.45, maybe even higher by that time. So now I'm making money on the stock, but I'm also making money on the credit that I'm taking in from selling the call options as well. So this is what gets me excited about the trade, is that in investing, you have to be able to think 2, 3, 4 steps ahead. What happens if you're wrong on the trade? So when I entered the trade, I already had figured this out. When I put on the trade, I thought to myself, hey, look, if Smith & Wesson doesn't stay at 1750 or above by expiration date, which is going to be on Friday, and I get assigned the trade, I'm okay with that. I'll take ownership of what I consider a good, solid company that's on an upward trajectory, and I'll sell call options against it. At the same time, though, think about this. If the stock continues to move from, I think it's at 16, last time I checked, 1640, 1650, if it continues to move higher, I don't need it to move higher, but if it does continue to move higher, my goodness, not only am I going to take ownership of a trade at 1605, around that range, 1605, but I'm now, the call options that I want to sell, the October call options, the 1750 call options, are going to be worth a lot more than $1.35, $1.45. They may even be worth $2 a share. So that's going to be a win-win situation for me. I could go ahead, and I thought about this morning. I thought to myself, I could go ahead and buy back right now, today, buy back the September puts that I shorted. I could buy those back for $1.35. I could make 10 cents on it, $10 per contract on the trade, and then turn around and go short the October 1750 puts and bring in about a $2.50 credit on that. I could do that, and I thought about that. But you know, the more I thought about taking the assignment, the more excited I got, because it just makes sense for me. So the whole point is there's always options that you can take, provided you know what you're doing. So hopefully you enjoyed this. This is Bruce Dinger, and I just wanted to give you guys an update on Smith & Wesson. Thanks.